Hey, in this video, we're going to talk about one-step equations that include division. Okay, so as we've talked about in several other videos, first thing you need to do is to recognize what function you're dealing with. Now, I'm telling you ahead of time in this particular video that all of the functions are division, but you need to be able to recognize what function you're dealing with. So recognize what function, and then you have to undo what function is involved there by using the opposite function. Addition, the opposite function is subtraction. Subtraction, the opposite is addition. And multiplication and division are both opposite functions. So if you see division, as we do in these particular problems, the opposite function that you're going to use is going to be multiplication. And you have to do it by the same number. It wouldn't do me any good to just go ahead and multiply this by 7. It wouldn't do me any good because it's not going to eliminate anything in order for me to be able to get that taken care of and simplified. So what we're going to do is we're going to isolate the variable by using the opposite function, same number, so that my ultimate goal is to have an equation that looks like just a variable equals a number. Just a variable equals a number. So as we look at our first example, x divided by 3 equals 8. So we recognize that it's division. So to undo division, we use multiplication. I have to use multiplication on both sides. Remember, it's a scale. Okay, whatever I do to one side, I have to do the same thing to the other side. Otherwise, the scale gets out of whack one way or the other. It doesn't matter. But you have to, if you do the same thing to both sides, it remains balanced and equal so that you can keep it as an equation. So again, opposite function, we see division, so we do multiplication with the same number. So we're going to multiply by 3 on both sides. Those two 3's will cancel each other out. I'm left with x equals 8 times 3, which is 24. Gives me my final answer. Okay. So our next one, x divided by 9 equals 4. Again, we recognize that there's division, so I'm going to use multiplication. It's being divided by 9, so I multiply by 9 on both sides. The two 9's then cancel each other out. I'm left with x equals 4 times 9, which gives me 36. Final answer. All right. And our third and final example, x is divided by 12 equals -3. So division, we see division, so we're going to use multiplication. It's being divided by 12, so we multiply by 12 on both sides. The 12's cancel out. X equals negative times a positive is a negative. 3 times 12 gives me 36. Gives me my final answer. We do have to do our check, though, to make sure that our answers are correct. Our checks basically mean I'm going to plug the 24 in for the x. I'm going to plug the 36 in for the x, and I'm going to plug the -36 in for the x, and make sure that we get a true statement. So I get 24 divided by 3 equals 8. So does 24 divided by 3 give me, what does that give me? It gives me 8 equals 8. So therefore, that's my good check. Okay? And I would do the same thing for the other two to verify. All right? So remember, recognize the function you're dealing with. Undo that function by using the opposite function with the same number so that you may isolate the variable and get yourself down to your variable equals just a number. Thank you.